What's up? What's up? What's up? You have tuned in to the iDads podcast. I'm your co-host, Matt, along with my other co-host, Eric. Eric, it was Father's Day, brother.
Father's
We
Day.
had a whole day to celebrate us dads.
Yes, it was. It was exciting, man. It was awesome.
Exciting. Come on. You got to be more excited than that. How often do you get a whole day that is devoted to doing whatever you want? How often, Eric? I'll wait.
My birthday?
Your birthday, maybe. Your birthday. Exactly.
Well, at least I got my toenails done.
You got your toenails did?
Yeah, today was nice and shiny for Father's Day. Gotta have good nails.
You didn't really get a petty, did you?
Yes, I did. The wife.
Yeah, you're
works.
A petty guy. You got a petty together.
You got a petty.
Well, so not only was it Father's Day, and we talk about that's like the only time it's about dads. That's the only time we celebrate us. And I'm throwing a pity party over here. I made a joke the other day. It's like, how come on Mother's Day the kids come home with all these cool projects, arts and crafts, all this stuff for Mother's Day, but Father's Day is after school is let out, school is over, it's summer. I don't get diddly squat from the school for Father's Day. I don't get any cool crafts. I don't get any cool cards. I did this year. Shout out to the elementary school out here in Campbell. They did make some birthday cards or Father's Day cards for me, even though Father's Day fell after school was out. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Did you get any? Did you get
my
any?
My daughter actually, she actually not from school. They didn't get anything from school. I mean, they're already on vacation, so they're not getting anything. We're not getting anything for Father's Day. But my daughter did draw nice little, super dad kind of character. Looked nothing like me, but she tried.
I'll share something with you, and we'll get to that. But I double dipped. In my household, we call it a bang bang or a bang bang bang. That's when if you're hungry and you really want food, but you're not sure what you want, and you want Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, and McDonald's. And so for dinner, you go out and you get Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, and McDonald's for dinners. That's a bang, bang, bang. Like you did the trifecta right there. And I pulled the bang, bang this month because my birthday was last week and then Father's Day. So my birthday fell first. And anytime somebody wants to celebrate me, I am all for it. I'm all in, and sign me up twice. I'm ready to go. And so we had my birthday, and iDads made an appearance, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Top Golf.
Shout out Top Golf.
Yeah.
How'd you like it? Was that your first time at Top Golf?
That was my first time. Awesome. Thank you for inviting me. It was awesome. I had a great time. That's a touch. Don't know how I got home, but
you had a great time. I had a blast.
It was your birthday, man.
Hey, all gas, no brakes. All the time, all gas, no brakes. That's how we roll. But I had a blast.
But it was 9:30 in the morning, man. Who drinks at 9:30 in the morning? I guess the iDads.
iDads maybe, but I'm an old man. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So 9:30, that's like lunchtime, mid-evening for me. 9:30, that's nothing. That's how I roll. And Top Golf's a cracking spot, and it's hard to get reservations. So when you can snag a 9:30 to 11:30 time slot for your birthday, to have 12 beautiful people surround you, you snag it.
Yep.
And I did. So I apologize for the early morning tea time.
No,
but that's what you do in golf. You tee off early. So I don't know why you're complaining.
No, I mean, we started the drinking. That's what I'm complaining about.
That's on
I
you.
was having a
That's on
beer at
you.
9:00 in the morning. I'm like,
That's
I
on
haven't
you.
had breakfast yet. I
Hey,
just had my coffee at
you're an
6:00 in
adult.
the morning. Now
You're an adult. You're a grown man. You make your own choices, bro. I don't make those choices for you.
yeah, you're right. Then after
So
that, I was serving myself, huh?
hey, but
The
you know what?
second,
I listen. I had a great time. It was like being a little kid. It was
yeah,
like a kid in a candy store, and I was spoiled rotten. I'm not gonna lie, and it was. I honestly I can't remember the last time I felt so spoiled rotten.
it's a good feeling. It's good.
It is.
By who though? Me or your wife?
Oh, you see
Uh-oh, did I over?
we did have this discussion because we went out earlier in the week
Yes.
after a softball practice, and we did go out. You did come out. iDads made an appearance at Top Golf in Alviso, Top Golf San Jose, Alviso. Don't call it Top Golf Milpitas. People get angry when you call it Top Golf
No, it's got to be
Milpitas.
Alviso.
If you do not get the city right, you don't belong there. There were some angry people when I was calling it Top Golf Milpitas. They were not happy. The mob was out to get me.
Oh yeah,
You may
Alviso.
have you may have been one of the mob.
No, I didn't really care. It was 9:30. Had a couple beers, so
It
everything
was
was running
9:30
smooth.
in the morning.
And I was actually winning.
I
But you got to describe that kind of game that we were playing. It is Top Golf. It's a little virtual kind of golf game that we're playing.
I would describe it for
And
anybody that hasn't done it. I would describe it as bowling with a golf club. That's how I would describe it. Like and the game we played was the Angry Birds game where you hit it out there and there's nothing out there but the green area, and virtually you knock over the pigs, right? And the Angry Birds. And that's awesome because you can hit really lousy shots and take out every one of those stinking pigs.
that's why I was winning.
And that's what's so fun about it, is because like you could be an exceptional golfer. It don't matter. Those virtual pigs do not care what your handicap is, what your stroke is, how many under par you hit. It don't matter. Those angry pigs do not care. Or are they birds? The angry birds. Who's angry in that game? Is it the pigs
It's
or
the
the
birds.
birds?
The
Why are the
birds.
birds angry?
Because the pigs are in the house. I don't know.
Oh, because the pigs are just sitting there laughing at them. So that's what's cool about it. And they have tons of other games that we didn't even get into because we were just little kids smashing pigs. That's all we were doing, was we were 12 little kids smashing pigs. And shout out to all those that did come out for my birthday at Top Golf. That was a
good crowd.
blast. Great
Good
crowd.
people,
No,
good crowd. Yeah.
that was a great crowd. So, and shout out to my wife for setting that up. So you ask who did better spoiling me for my birthday?
It's a 1-1 right now.
I'm like, okay, all right. So there, okay. So we're gonna keep score like that. So
Okay. She
oh
booked
man, I
it.
have to give it to my wife, dude. She got me a birthday message shout out.
Oh
A
yes, that
DM
was.
message from the greatest linebacker of all time, Patrick Willis, from the San Francisco 49ers, former linebacker, she had him send me a private message. And I'll tell you what, I'm not afraid to admit it. A single tear fell from this eye. And then to follow it up, two more dropped out of this eye. And my birthday was complete, man. After seeing Patrick Willis's beautiful face wishing me happy birthday, I was done, man. I was in a utopia.
Awesome.
For my birthday. So that's like 3 or 4
wins.
points for
She
my wife.
wins.
Yeah,
She
man.
wins.
So
She takes it.
And listen, like there were some close seconds. My boy Alberto, who every year, I mean, we go back since high school. Shout out Alberto Lua, I love you, nephew. That's my dog right there. But he got me a dope, fresh, clean, white on white George Kittle jersey, which is going to be great and wonderful for this upcoming 49ers season. So I couldn't be happier, to be honest. Like I said, I was spoiled, man. You spoiled me rotten. I'm not going to take nothing away from you, dog. You woke up at 9:30 to come to Top Golf. So um, I was definitely spoiled. I'm definitely thankful, and tons of messages on our social media, man. Like I can't thank people enough. Like, and I want to say something, like, if it's someone's birthday, even if it's not someone's birthday, like take the time out to just let one person a day know that you appreciate them, or that they're important to you, or that they mean something to you.
Yeah.
Whether it's someone's birthday or not, but I'm really challenging myself to do things like that, because you know, that stuff really means a lot to
Yeah.
me, when someone wishes me a happy birthday. I mean, I know it's just sometimes we do it cavalier and we don't even think about it, but you don't know like how much you can make someone's day by just sharing an encouraging word.
Happy birthday. Yep.
you know like the encouraging word, like I shared to you earlier. I was like, man, you're looking like slimmer and slimmer.
That's not,
um
that's not
what
the
are you
case,
what are you
man.
doing over there? Like,
It's, it's
I
called the
said your
lighting.
what I say I think I said your face was symmetrical today, which I don't know what that means.
Symmetrical. No,
It's better than
that's
my
not for sure.
naked face.
Oh, that naked face is just, I don't know. You look like a thumb.
A thumb with eyes, dude. How
Thumb with
dare
eyes.
you? Dude, that one hurt, man. A thumb. If
Uh,
I took, and you know what, if I took off this hat, if I stopped hat fishing everyone and I took this hat off, I would legit look like a thumb with eyes. Or if have you seen those videos where people make those like
the little
fat
faces.
faces?
Yeah, like
I don't even have to do that. I just look at you and I
I
have a
just
fat face.
hey, you see the pictures at the Top Golf. I mean, ones that we put up on our page is just
That
that's
was
where all
all
the
you.
faces at.
That was you, bro. That was all you.
But you know what? Talking about 9:30 in the morning, man, dude, 9:30 in the morning is just too much of a drinking. But you know what? That wasn't even the main issue, man. I try to do the best. I try to go all out for your birthday. Make sure the iDads is representing and making sure you're having a good day. But I know after our softball game, we all decided to get some drinks, and that day, man, I don't know if I've told you, but what had happened between I lost lost track of time. Let's put it that way. And the wife knew I was gonna go play softball. Around 7 o'clock at night should have ended. I should have been home by 8. Well, that didn't happen, and so so you went to have drinks because it was your birthday. I said, okay, let me go out have a drink with him, and then I can go home from there. Well, that didn't happen. It stayed from 8, 9, 10. Then I looked at my phone, and I was just having so much fun with the guys and with you, and just wishing you a happy birthday, making playing pool and all this. I lost track of time. Kid you not. Looked at my phone, and my wife's like, "Are you okay? I just want to know. I just want to make sure that you're okay." And I was like, "I'm such a bad husband." I said, "Why didn't I just tell her? How did I lose so much time, just talking with the guys, and I lost track of time. It was already 10:30 at night on a weekday. And usually I'm always home right after work, kids,
Normal dad life.
normal dad life, and it was 10:30 and I sent her a message. I'm with Matt. I
Oh,
didn't even
great, dude. Great. Throw
I
me
didn't
under the bus.
no,
Thanks,
no, no. I
bro.
didn't even, yeah, I didn't even tell her where I was at, what I was doing. So, we had a couple drinks, that night, for celebrating for your birthday. So I got home, I kid you not, it was 11 o'clock at night. And I remember calling my wife on my way home. And I was like, hey, I'll be there in about 10, 15 minutes. I'm on my way. just had a couple of drinks for Matt's birthday, and lost track of time. And I was like, dude, as soon as I get there, I'm in the doghouse, right? I'm gonna be sleeping outside. Wife's gonna be upset. You know, and I those times that you walk outside of your front door and you're just kind of going back and forth from the front
You don't
door
even
back
want
to
to
your
go
car.
inside.
You don't
Yeah.
want to go inside. You're just like, you're nervous.
And you're thinking of all the ways you can apologize and all the
The
things that you can say to make it
excuses,
okay.
man.
Yeah,
The
just to make it okay. Like, and
yeah,
to minimize it. You're trying to like
yeah,
minimize damage.
yeah. No, and everything. I mean, I had all the excuse. I mean, you name it. I have the excuses. I had them in my mind. I forgot. My phone. I was gonna say my phone died. I had all
Bro,
these
that
excuses.
anxiety that you were feeling, listen, that anxiety that you were feeling, every single husband
out there.
knows that exact feeling, whether you're guilty or not. And even it's,
Right.
the anxiety is even worse when you're not guilty. You've done nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. The anxiety, everyone knows it. Like, I could feel it right now as you're speaking about it. So continue. The anxiety, you're riddled with anxiety before you get in the door. Okay.
So I come into the door, and and my wife is there, and she's like, and she looks at me and says, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, everything is good." And she said, "Why don't you just communicate with me what you're doing, where you're at? I just wanted to make sure that you're okay." And I'm looking at her like, okay, where is she going to start yelling at me? Where am I going to sleep
You're
at?
like, dude, she's setting me up, bro. She's setting me up.
I mean, is this a setup? What's going on? I mean, what's really going on?
She was pitching softballs.
Right? She said, "You said you were going to go play softball." I said, "Yes, I did. I did." And then we went to go get some drinks with Matt for his birthday. And my wife was like, "I don't mind you going to have drinks with Matt. I just want you to communicate with me." And you know what she told me? And this is why I love my wife so much. She looked at me and she said, I took a little nap, and I woke up, and I had a bad dream that something bad had happened to you. And I'm just glad to see you walking through that door. And I just want to tell you I love you. But just communicate next time with me. And she said, "You know what? At first I had some thoughts in my mind of you doing something out there, doing other stuff that you're not supposed to, that you're married, or you're going out with girls, or doing this or doing that, just different thoughts, or doing
The
different
fears, the fears
that the wives go through.
Yeah, absolutely. She should. I mean, that she's allowed to have those fears. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But
yeah,
when they don't play into them, like to the fear, and they overcome it, and they really start thinking, and then don't sleep. Do not ever. Hey, this is dad advice right here. Don't ever sleep on a woman that's had a dream about something. Don't ever think
yes,
that it's nothing and that it's whatever. Like, I'm
yeah.
telling you, if a woman's got a dream and she wants to talk about it, you better sit there and listen and buckle up.
Sit there. Yes.
Like, because I'm a firm believer in, like, for women, there's something to it. I'll give my wife that, and so that's powerful, man, and that's
And she was, I mean, in her mind, I mean, there was all this stuff going through her mind. So and at first I'm like, I mean, am I getting set up? And so then she finally said, let's sit down and pray, because I need to pray to get these bad thoughts out of my head. And I know you weren't doing anything. Let's as a couple sit here and start praying and ask the Holy Spirit to get these bad thoughts out of our mind, and unite us more as a couple. And I was like looking at her like, what's going on? Where's my wife?
bro. You know what I would have said? I would have said, "Where's the hidden cameras at?"
Right? Where's
I know I'm on Punked. Matt, come out. Where are you at, Matt? Is this the iDads Punked?
I swear, man. I felt that way. And when we started praying, after we finished, I realized it was legit. It was
That's deep.
and it was a deeper connection. And I said, and I apologized to her, and told her, you know what, I apologize for not communicating. And and I appreciated her support, and that she loves me and she cares for me. and she's looking out for me. And I just told her, don't have any more of those dreams unless I go
Yeah.
out drinking.
Yeah, don't know. And here and like okay, here's a couple things. Number one, like kudos to your wife. Like shout out to your wife because she had every right to just nail you to
Oh
the
yeah,
wall.
yes.
And and she probably should have, right? And she probably woke up the next day and she was like, "Man, I shouldn't have left him
Thanks,
off the
Matt.
hook that easy."
Thanks,
You
Matt.
know? She probably should have laid into you. But no, but really like shout out to her for like for being, cognizant enough
Yeah,
to think about, you know, everything, in totality, like her
yeah,
dream and how valuable you are to her and
yeah,
how much she trusts you and to actually for her to communicate effectively to you how she was feeling and what she was going through and do it in a way that didn't come off like an attack.
yeah,
That's beautiful, man, and that
yeah,
shows like tremendous growth from an individual,
yeah,
because that's hard for anyone to do. It doesn't matter if you
yeah,
try to do it or practice it, like it's just hard to do.
yeah.
um so shout out to your wife, huge applause to her, um and tell her like it's not my fault. I'm not as bad as
You know,
anyone
you know, you know,
anyone
you know.
making
The
me out
the
to be.
funny part is after the next day, the softball team that went to drink with us the day before, they sent out a text message. Who else got yelled by their wife?
I
What do you
didn't
think
get
I
all that.
responded? I was like, "Ha, not me."
I didn't do nothing wrong.
It
Um,
was your birthday. That's why you got the free
so well,
pass.
no, but I mean, well, and so here's the follow up to that, and then we'll move on. But
Yeah,
like COVID has really put people in a weird headspace, man.
yeah.
And they are losing their self-control and going a little overboard as they're going out back into the world as the world begins to open up. Uh my wife hates that line. She just absolutely hates it. So if I could squeeze it in every episode, I'm gonna do it. Um, but people are like they're forgetting that there's limits and that life is about balance and life is about more often than not making good decisions, better decisions, and knowing boundaries and limits and I'm seeing and observing as the world is opening up again that 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 people have lost their dang minds, um and are doing things completely out of character. And so as an iDad, I want to remind everyone to go out there, whatever you do out there in the world, please be responsible, be respectful, be compassionate to one another, whatever pent up aggression you may have, like leave that at home. Um,
Don't take it to the
you want to go
bars.
out, just enjoy life, enjoy other people, enjoy other humans, even if you don't know them, even if they're different, even if they're wearing like I can't tell you, man. We went to Great America. I took my kids to Great America for Father's Day, and I met the nicest couple that I've met in a long time, and she was a Dodgers fan, straight up through and through Dodgers Lakers fan. She had the Dodgers hat on, and normally not, I mean, I say it jokingly, like I see a Dodger fan, I'm running away from them. Like Dodger fans are evil people. And but that's like a jokingly kind of judgment I would have of a person wearing a Dodger hat, like, oh, they're just not my type of people, they're Dodger fans, I'm a Giant fan. And you know what, greatest one of they were the greatest couple I've met in the last couple weeks. Just exceptional people, and I could have wrote her off because she had on a Dodger hat. So like go out there, be good to people, be respectful to people, and enjoy one another, enjoy people that are different than you. um because you're going to learn something and it's fun and exciting. So but do it responsibly. Don't be a knucklehead. Don't be a statistic. Don't be a guy that you're gonna read about in a blog. Don't be a guy that you're gonna read about on our Instagram or our social media. Just don't be that guy.
Don't be that. That's
So,
awesome.
but Father's Day, again, so bang bang for me. Birthday, Father's Day, Father's Day. How was your Father's Day?
It was good. It was just relaxing. We didn't do much. Just stayed home. And just visit my parents. But we didn't do much.
Nice.
Took
But you
the
spent time with family.
with family.
That's
And just
important.
that was the main thing.
The girls spoil you rotten.
Oh yeah, always.
I mean, you talked
This
about
is
that dope
this
card
is
that was
yeah.
made for you.
She actually my 10-year-old actually made a nice little card for me. Kind of started drawing me on the exactly something like that. Yeah, there you go. Wish I had it. I would have shown exactly. That does not
Is
look
it
like
better than that one, dude? Is it better than that? Tell me. Bro, look how fat my body is. And look at my little
Oh, dude, I
pinhead.
wish I had the somewhere around here. Oh
Well, here,
man, who
listen,
would have
Eric,
compared
I'm
it?
gonna save you. I'm gonna save you from having to dig it out and get it. Hey, why don't you just send your boy a picture every once in a while so I could post something from Eric on
For
our
sure, for sure. I'm gonna send you a
on
picture of
our
the.
IG. I could post your daughter's drawing or rendering of you because my wife goes like, "Hey man, like the social media is looking good. The iDad social media is looking good, but like there's a lot of your ugly face on that social media." And I'm like, "Yeah, tell Eric to send me a picture. I hit you up today. Hey, give me some picture. Like I don't have any good ones of my. I don't take
On my
selfies
good
like you
side.
do.
It's my good side.
I don't take selfies like you do,
I
Matt." And
I
I'm like,
don't. The wife is the one that I gotta have to ask the wife. The wife is the one that's like always snapping pictures of me. I don't really like taking pictures.
I don't. Do you think I take? Do you really think I walk around taking
It,
pictures
it
of
looks like it. I mean, we were drinking and you had the camera up in everybody's face while we're trying to have a drink on Thursday.
that was again. That's on you.
If you don't believe me, go look at the IG. Look at
That's on
our
you.
IG page.
I was just taking a live video, letting folks know that we were at Top Golf Alviso.
Yeah, no, I'll send you some stuff. I got some stuff. I'll send you the picture too, as well. The drawing and all that. I'll send you some
Because
stuff for you.
I told you we have an official, we have a legit. I mean, this is how far the iDads podcast has come. I mean, this is how badly it's taking off. We have a legitimate on the payroll social media manager who's out there just throwing posts out for iDads.
That's awesome.
So, but it takes this thing called content to be able to put on our social media. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm a pretty dapper dude. I'm a pretty handsome dude, but I can't carry this by myself. Like, I brought you on because you got those eyes.
No,
You got that symmetrical face.
Matt, look at your shirt, bro. Come on. You
You
have
thought I was
content all
normal.
day,
You
bro.
thought I was normal.
You're not
That's
normal,
on
bro.
you, bro. That's on you. Again,
You're not normal. It's like
that's on you.
that's why
That's
there's
on you.
content there, you know.
All I'm saying is, like, hey, man,
After all
people.
those pictures we took, after all our IG of me and
And
you
dude,
and Top Golf,
every picture I posted of us went viral, man. Like super viral. Like instead of getting 1 or 2 views, we got 10. Like it went viral. It took off through the roof. Instead of 1 like, we got 2
3.
thumbs downs. Like I'm telling you, those pictures were the hit. The Top Golf even shouted us out on their IG. Top Golf even sent me a private message saying, "Yo, thanks for stopping by. Like you guys are big time now." And I was like, "Hey, Top Golf, thanks, man." So we have a social media manager. All we need is some content. Like it doesn't even have to be a picture of you. Maybe some funny picture that you took that you thought was funny. Send it to our social media manager so they can put it on our social media. That's all I'm asking of you. I'm asking you to carry a little bit of weight on
Here,
this
I'm gonna
show.
send it. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
That's all. That's it. That's all I'm asking, man. Just if all I gotta do is razz on you in an episode, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Said you when I'm naked.
No, I don't want
No.
that one.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is listen. This is
All right. Just thought
bro.
maybe
Like
something you
we're
wanted.
trying to make a difference in the world. We're not trying to scare the world. We're
I
trying
thought
to
maybe
make
you
an
wanted a
impact.
picture of my body. That's all. That's all you
No.
wanted.
I more of your symmetrical face, less of your body. The less of our bodies, the better. Trust me. The
All
more of
right.
our face, the less of our bodies, the better we're gonna do.
That's funny.
So Father's Day was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm very thankful for being a father, and I'm thankful for all the blessings that fatherhood has with it. And I'm very thankful that there's a day set aside to celebrate fathers, and not just those that are biological fathers, those that are dads, those that are dad figures, father figures, or father influences in kids'
Stepdads.
lives, stepdads, dudes that just aren't even dads that fill the role in some kid's life that a dad would normally step in and take. I have a great father, and I'm so thankful for my dad, but there's been tons of just guys in my life that came up beside me and just said, encouraged me, or just loved on me when I needed it. So those
Mhm.
guys, like, you know those are father figures. Those are men that were like fathers and dads, and did dadly things even though they didn't have kids of their own. Shout out those guys, like unsung hero guys,
Yeah.
putting the work in and just helping a struggling young dude out.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm very thankful for Father's Day, man. Happy Father's Day to you. You definitely deserve it. You're out there grinding it out, man. And you're a great dad, Eric.
Likewise.
I
Likewise.
appreciate you, man. I enjoy watching other dads be dads too, man, and I appreciate it. And I see it, and I pointed out, man. I'm like, yo, whatever you're doing, that's dope. You're out there, running drills with your kids, or you're, taking your kids to karate lessons or whatever.
Yes.
Um, I love it. I love seeing dads be dads. I think it's a beautiful thing. So shout out to you. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you too.
Appreciate that.
No,
Appreciate that.
roll. Roll
Uh,
that mustache back, please.
it'll get there. It'll get there, man. Listen, hey, people haven't seen my face in over a year and a half, and it's time. They need to see it in all its glory.
Baby face. Baby face.
All its glory. They need to see it how it came out. You know, uh, how I came out the mama's womb. That's how they need to see the face. So, but lastly, I did want to kind of just one last big thing that kind of did go down in our household this last week was we celebrated the anniversary of my son's adoption, which for us is a huge celebration. And so the day we adopted our son was it's a day I'll never forget, man. It's a day that uh, I became a father legally of a little guy that we've known since the day he was born. So, um, so that, I mean, like, so really, I say I had a bang bang, right, with my birthday and
Yeah.
Father's Day. I did the trifecta, dude. I celebrated the trifecta in the month of June, and I'm actually gonna go for a bang 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 bang. Uh, but and I'll share that because our anniversary is next week, or this week actually. So that's four things that I'm celebrating here in June. But definitely the celebrating the adoption day of my son um, was a huge day. Was a really really cool day that I really love celebrating myself.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, my hat's off to you, man. I mean, I mean, adopting a child. I mean, just imagine. I mean, a lot of you're doing a really good, deed and helping out a child out, providing a home and showing them love. And I mean, honestly, I mean, living under a perfect home. I mean, I know you already for quite some time, and I know you're a great man, and I know you'll take care of them. And I'm happy for you. And like I said, you're an awesome father, and my hat's off to you, man.
I
I mean,
appreciate.
adoption is not easy. I could tell you that. I mean, I've had that discussion with my wife, and it's a little difficult to kind of take that kind of step. And like I said, I admire that about you, and that you took that step, and awesome. You're an awesome dad. So
Well, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you saying that. Um, hey, I was adopted, so for me, like adoption was always something that I wanted to be involved with as a adult. Okay.
yeah,
And that's actually something that my wife and I discussed pre-marriage. Was we both had a desire to want to do that. With that being said, we went into adoption 100% with selfish intentions. At least I did. My wife maybe not so much, but we went into it because we were struggling with infertility, which I know a lot of people struggle with, and
yeah,
that is a devastating thing to have for any couple, any woman, any husband to have to go through infertility alone. And that was really the motivation at the time for us to do or to look into adoption, which was and you're right, it's not easy, um because there's just a lot of different obstacles, there's a lot of things that have to happen, and it's a process, and it's not easy, but I'm telling you, man, it is probably one of the most incredible blessings that you'll ever experience. I mean,
yeah,
luckily, after adoption, we were able to have a child, and that's our daughter that we have now. And watching both my daughters be born was an absolutely incredible experience and a beautiful blessing to see. Um, Adoption is equally as beautiful and amazing as watching your child be born, uh, being able to adopt a child. So I'm I we went into it selfishly. We did foster care, and it's not easy, and it's you need to know exactly what types of things to expect when you're getting into it. But I'm
yeah,
telling you, man, it's the most incredible blessing that you'll ever receive as a human being, I feel. Um and equally as much of a blessing as it is for the children, and there's tons of children that need um so much. I mean,
yeah,
so much. And if there was ever anyone that was interested in doing adoption, we through the county private adoption, I would definitely encourage them, but I would definitely encourage them to talk to somebody that's done it before,
yeah.
um and get some advice. But um yeah, man, like
That's awesome. I mean, now that I mean, you said it here on the podcast. I mean, what do you think when your son grows up and he sees this? I mean, what you got something you would want to tell him?
well, we're very open.
Hmm.
Now we don't. That doesn't mean we have an open adoption, but we're
Yeah,
very open with our son about
yeah,
like your sister was born in mom's belly, and you were born in our hearts. You were born. God placed you in our heart for a
yeah,
reason,
uh-huh,
because we could just say you're ours because he
yeah,
is. We're all that he's ever known. So, but we're very, very open and honest with him, about his situation. Um, and we know that he's got siblings, and we keep in touch with the parents, the adoptive parents of his siblings, because that's going to be important for him probably
yeah,
down the road. So yeah, like there's some obstacles to it. There's some things to it that are uncomfortable and that are not normal. But I'll tell you what, uh, for whatever negative thought or stereotype or connotation you have about adoption, whatever you think, um, I'm going to tell you it's 100 times more beautiful than whatever you think it is. Whether you think it's a terrible thing or you think it's a marvelous thing, it's better than what we think it is. It is a absolutely beautiful thing. And I'm not a wonderful person because I'm willing to do it. Um, I mean, I think there's a lot of wonderful people that would do it, but it's a beautiful thing. I am a child of adoption. um, I am proud of that. Uh, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah,
And I think that I think it's a great thing if and for anybody interested in it or just foster care, man. There's
yeah,
tons of kids that need help. My wife and I have talked about it once, once our kids get a little bit older, just doing foster care.
yeah,
Because there's just kids out there that just need stability. They need structure. They just need love. They need a calm voice. They
yeah.
need attention.
And then I mean, and you see a lot of people out there. I mean, I even have family that they're really good with children, and for some reason or another, they're not. They either they can't have children or they just decide not to, and they're really good with children. And I mean, and I'm kind of glad that you brought this up so that way people that are actually thinking about it or can't have children. I mean, there is options out there. It's not as bad as what people are thinking. And I appreciate you sharing that with us as well. I mean, it's a big to you it might be like a normal day, but it's a huge thing, coming out and sharing this with the podcast and with all our listeners. And like I said, I have family that they're considering, but they're just don't know who to go to. And I'm kind of glad that you're able to bring that out, so I can have somebody to if they have any questions or anything, they can come to you.
Straight up.
And
And anybody listening to this podcast this far into the podcast or
yeah,
anybody
right,
that gets sent this clip of this section, like you got
yeah,
any questions, shoot us a message on our social media,
yeah,
shoot us a DM. I'd be more than happy to talk to you and kind of share some of our experience. And maybe it's something we'll talk about, down the road
yeah,
a little bit more uh in depth on the podcast. But um this is what I was told once by someone that
hmm,
uh, we both at the same time struggled to have kids, right? So my wife and I were struggling to have kids. Him and his wife were struggling to have kids. So we were going through it kind of at the same time. And so we cheated. We cut line. We started doing foster care to adopt. We were going to cut line. We were going to have it on our own.
yeah,
And I remember sitting in the living room with this guy, um and we have this at the time, my son, who was at the time just our foster kid. We were still in the process of adoption. I mean, we had him from the day he was born, straight out of the hospital, right off the
yeah,
oven. He came home with us. And we had him, and we didn't finalize his adoption until like 2.5 years later. So I mean, it's a long process. But I was sitting there with this gentleman, and I have this beautiful baby crawling around on the floor that we've had for probably 6 months, maybe a year by then. And and he's just crawling around on the floor, and the gentleman who had been I knew been struggling having kids, he's like, I just can't do it. And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, I see you, I see this child, I see the amount of love that you have for him and the relationship that you guys have. And like, I look at you and there's just absolutely no doubt that you're his dad and he's your son and that you guys have that bond. He goes, but I I couldn't love a kid that's not my own like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I get I get it. I get someone saying that, but I'm telling you, until you do it, he has no idea how wrong he is.
Yeah.
Man, I love that little guy so much. And see, I'm blessed to have, we did have our own child, right? So there's no difference. There's absolutely no difference. I would do absolutely everything in my power for each one of those kids equally. I love them both equally.
Yeah.
I don't love my daughter more than my son because she's a part of me and my wife. Not at all.
Yeah.
I love her differently, but like there's no way I love one of my kids more than I love the other. And there's no way that JJ takes a back seat.
Yeah.
Um so I while I understand because it's that fear, like,
Yeah.
the unknown, but I'm telling you, man, couldn't be further from the truth. Like if you allow yourself to let these kids in that need a parent, that need parents, that need fathers, need mothers, and you let that wall down, man, I'm telling you, dude, like they'll melt your heart, bro.
Yeah.
They'll steal your heart. These kids will steal your heart, in a good way. I mean that in the most pure and beautiful ways possible. They'll steal your heart, and that's what adoption is. So, I understand the fear, and then there's the admitting defeat. I think for some people is like, well, I can't do it on my own, so if I have to do adoption, I'm giving up. That's like second place.
Mm.
Man, no. You don't know how many people win with adoption. You know how many people's lives our adoption has touched,
Yeah.
and people. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, man. Um,
Yeah. JJ's got a good father, man.
well,
No,
I
you're a
appreciate
good
I
man. You're a good
appreciate
man.
that. I
So
do. I try, man, and that's what this podcast is about. This is a
yeah.
podcast is about two dads, a collective of dads, a bunch of dads, all banding together, iDads banding together
Yeah.
around the world, around the globe, live on Facebook, and just coming together and being dads, man, and just sharing our experiences and sharing our failures and sharing our hurts and then sharing our victories with one
Yeah.
another and sharing the good things, like, and not just about me or not just about you, but like a
Yeah.
group of dads, like I said, to encouraging one another, to continue being good dads.
Correct.
Eric, you're a good dad. Keep being a good dad. You're doing a good job. Like, how many times do you hear that? Only on
Nah, not
Father's
that
Day.
much.
But no, man, we need to come together. I had a guy hit me up on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, man, does anybody know any local dads groups? Because I'm looking and I can't find anything." And he just started his own. You know, there's people out there looking, there's dads out there looking, there's
Yeah.
husbands out there looking, single dads, dads in good marriages, bad marriages, whatever it is. There's
Stepdad's trying to learn how to
stepdads trying
raise
to learn
different.
how to be a dad. There's dads
Yeah.
looking, and I want this podcast and this group iDads to be a place where we can come together and just encourage one another, man. And I'm like, hey, yo, you don't need any qualifications. You want to come on the show and you have
Yeah.
something to share, like, I'm all about it,
Yep.
because I think we can all learn from one another. I know I can, and I know others can learn from us. So,
Yep.
that's what this is about, man. Uh, iDad's podcast. That's what it's about.
Yep.
You know what I
That's the way
mean?
to do it. That's
You
the
know
way
what
to
I
do
mean?
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
We went
do.
live on Facebook.
Yeah, I
I didn't
do.
even look at any of the chats. I have no idea if there was like maybe one viewer the whole
It
time.
was the Father's
Three,
Day.
I think we got up to like 3 viewers on our Facebook live, but who cares? Like, like
It's
I'm
it's okay. No,
I'm not in this
I mean, the
for
stuff we talked about. I mean, this is awesome. You got me still thinking. I mean, it's. I know our listeners are going to continue to. I mean, there's a lot of other questions too as well. I mean, I think we could touch it up with another show and you know, I mean, honestly, adoption is also similar to having a stepfather too as well.
absolutely.
You know, I grew up with a stepfather too, so I mean, it's something we could touch, you know, later on in another show, and you know, we could talk about, you know, going through different, you know, avenues that my mom had to go through and stuff like that when, you know, raising us as a single mom as well. So
Shout out to single moms too
yeah,
that are playing the roles of dads.
well,
Like that should not be understated. That should not be overlooked. I have a friend from high school who's doing that. Shout out to her, man. Like super proud of her for that. That's dope. Like, and that's a tough gig being
yeah,
mom and dad. So, hey, you don't have to just be a dad. Like chicks are allowed here too.
right.
Um, Women are allowed. We do not discriminate. We're an inclusive podcast, but you have officially tuned into the iDads live on Facebook and the iDads podcast. This has been episode 11. We covered a lot of stuff. We went from birthdays to Father's Day to adoption. We all over the place, but we crazy.
We're not normal.
We're not normal. If you thought we were normal, that's on you. That's your fault. Eric, as always, man, I appreciate
Thanks, brother. Thanks,
you,
man.
you taking the time. You just listened to the iDads podcast. We appreciate you. We thank you. We love you. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Share it with a friend. If you know somebody is struggling with anything that we've kind of touched on, hey, share this podcast. Let them know that hey, there's someone else out there that's been there, done that. That's what we're about here. iDads podcast. We're building the coalition. We're building a team. We're building
Yes.
like a dream team right
My
now.
dad's for life.
So, iDads for life. Jump on,
Gangster.
subscribe,
Gangster.
follow us on our social media. It don't matter. Like if you're different, it's all good. Hop on board. We don't discriminate. We don't play hate. We
We don't
congratulate.
play.
iDads podcast. We out.